I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. This is a phrase that is very common where I'm from. And it's a common phrase because I think many of us feel this way. We feel a connection with people, we feel a connection with nature, we feel a connection with God, but we kind of dislike organized religion. We don't like going to church or temple. And we all have good reason for that. Many of us do. I too am spiritual but not religious. But I've been studying religions for a long time. And there's one thing that I want to share that I think can be helpful to all of us. Oftentimes, when we say we're spiritual compared to religious, is a lot of spiritual types, or the people that often use this phrase, is we kind of lack vigor. Sometimes we lack discipline. And we often think of, when I think of like religion, we think of like, at the very least, having to go to a building and meet with people, go to some kind of service on Saturday or Sunday. That's some kind of discipline. Or maybe we pray every day, or we pray 5 times a day, or we meditate every day. We keep the Sabbath, right? These are disciplines. And if you just consider yourself spiritual, I want to challenge you to be disciplined. It's okay to be disciplined. We can find things out about ourselves and about consciousness through discipline. I can assure you that there's not any particular discipline that will, get you to the goal. Like, many people in organized religions think their religion is the only way. And that's one of the things that the spiritual types that would dislike. It's not the case. Just like that phrase, all roads lead to Rome, I say all roads lead to God. All roads lead to Spirit. Because you already are God. You already are Spirit. You just haven't realized it yet. And I'm cautious. I'm being cautious when I share the word discipline with you, because I don't want you to think that you have to complete tasks in order to realize God, because you don't. You already are God. You don't have to do anything to be yourself. But there are things that we could learn through discipline. I like being casual, but if we want to reach the goal, we have to hit the mark. And in order to hit the mark, it is good to have focus. And the way that we can have focus is by putting a little effort in to control what we do with our day. That's really what discipline is. What are you going to do with your day? I'm spiritual, guys. If you're just ripping bongs all day, that's just chasing pleasure. It is unfortunate that in a lot of spiritual circles, we equate being pleasurable and having good vibes as being spiritual. We want good vibes, But that's not the goal. We can't just be pleasure seekers, because eventually what happens after pleasure seeking is it can't always be pleasurable, and you're constantly chasing the next thing that's going to give you a tickle. So discipline is good for ourselves. One of the Williams sisters, I can't remember which one, said she believes that discipline is freedom, because she says, she's a very disciplined all-star athlete, and the rigorous discipline she's put herself through has allowed her the victories and the freedom that come with it. One of my teachers told me once that time control is mind control. And we're not talking about like voodoo magic here. We're talking about literally controlling our schedule will help us control our minds a little bit. This is the one thing that spiritual circles often lack, is the discipline that religious circles have. Discipline really can be a beautiful thing. Look, I'm an artist. I love just like digging into projects. My cousin described my personality as space shuttle reentry once. Like, I like going in hard. Okay? But over the years, if I matured, I'm 40 years old now, I've really come to appreciate discipline. Discipline can really free us up. And it creates these small victories for us that we can be proud of ourselves for. And we could really help align us with what we want to do. You are God, you are spirit, and you just haven't realized it yet. At the start of your efforts to realize God, to become self-realized, I've heard the metaphor, like you're a little sapling, you're a little tree, and a little tree can get trampled easily. But eventually, when that tree gets big and strong, you can tie a horse to it and it won't be able to pull the tree out. A car could hit a tree full speed, barely put a dent in the thing, right? So if you find yourself being this little sapling, this little tree, and emotions and things like that are kind of pushing you and pulling you in different directions, and you're not able to focus on your goals, then giving yourself discipline, which I really think ultimately comes in giving yourself a schedule, can really be helpful. The things that are really important to us, we find the time for. If it's really important to you, you'll find the time for it. And if you haven't found the time for it yet, then maybe it's not important to you yet, and that's fine. If you feel like you aren't living to your fullest potential and you want to really dial in, then make time for it. I've gone to many different spiritual teachers in many different places, and one of the first things that they asked was, "Oh, you really want to be spiritual? Well, how much time are you spending on your phone?" Hopefully not as much as me, guys. Whoa! I am addicted to those reels, dude. Oh, TikTok. Get it off. But it's really a practical thing. It's really a practical thing. All the mystical experiences I've ever had have all pointed to a much more simple reality than the one I was living in before. You are consciousness. You are God. You are spirit. It's so simple. That's why it's elusive. We make it complicated because we're searching. Okay? If you want to realize that, bring some simplicity into your life. Give yourself a schedule. Eventually work it out. We've got phones, we've got calendars. It's easy to do. If it's important for you, find the time. So, I started this video by talking about the difference between how we say we're spiritual instead of religious. That's great. I'm there with you. But we can adopt some of that rigor. We can adopt some of that discipline for our own personal development. Do it. Look, things will only improve for you. If you slip up a little bit, don't beat yourself up about it. But give yourself a schedule. Make the time to devote yourself to yourself. If you wanted to meditate, make the time in your schedule first. Set it up for a time when you're actually going to do it. There was a time where I was meditating very early in the morning, and I was doing what all the books said to do and my teacher said to do. Then it fell off because I've got 3 kids and it got real busy. And then I eventually realized when I was at work on my lunch breaks, I could just shut the door in my office and just go in there and do that. And that's when I started doing it again. Okay? You don't need to act like a monk or something like that to dial in. Just put some time in your schedule. Simplify your life, and life will become more simple. I hope this was helpful. If you're interested, there's a link in the description of this video where I have a free 3-class video series where I do teach a meditations technique and a couple other things if you do want more peace, energy, and clarity in your life. So check it out. Thanks, guys. This is the Red Wizard. Peace. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to go deeper, you can check out my free 3-video class called Unlock Peace, Energy, and Clarity. You can find the class at realpeacenow.net. That is realpeacenow.net, or you could just click the link in the description below. If you'd like some personal guidance, you can also book a private reading with me as a spiritual medium. Details for that are in the description too. Wishing you peace. And remember, love is the truth of who you are.